So, last few examples, I might have talked a little bit abstractly about how math might relate to your everyday life or whatever your career pursuits are, anything that you want to do in life to make math more relevant for you, more fun for you, more exciting, and in a sense, more lucrative, right? Well, a lot of times I get a lot of people that say that they're not interested in math, they're interested in art or film or any of those number of things, right? Funny story for you. So I was interviewing for a job, which, spoiler alert, I ended up getting. But as I was interviewing for this math teaching job, after I talked about math anxiety, did the whole spiel, talking to everyone about their experiences with math, and then I go into doing a couple of examples on the board, and you might recognize this example from the last video we did. We started off here, and then we ended off here and whatnot, right? So in the middle of it, the headmaster of the school, as we're talking with the other faculty and I'm doing my interview, he looks at the board and he's like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't see how this is relevant to my interests. And he was like, I probably just would be terrible in this class. And I said, okay, well, what are your interests? And he said, storytelling. And I said, okay, so you want to write stories? He said, yeah. And I pointed at the board. And I said, well, this is a story. You started here, you did this in the middle, and then you ended here. This is what a story is. And depending on what I put in for this variable, it could be the conflict, it could be my materials, it could be my theory, it could be my thought, it could be any of these things. But a lot of times when you're writing notes to yourself, you're writing out a formula, you're thinking of a design, you're thinking of a way to put things together. But a lot of times people don't think about that. This is a story. You started here with this problem, or let's say this conflict, if you want to talk about writing a script. You start here, action happens at the middle, and then you have a resolve at the end. Now, yes, there's some math problems where there is no resolution. You could think of that as an open interpretation to a poem or a story or anything like that. Haikus have design, numbers, all of this kind of stuff. So we really shouldn't think so narrowly that storytelling, art, and all of these things are divorced from math. If anything, if you're an artist, you probably have much more of a mathematical mind than most people would think. Math is a creative process. Math is one of those things that if you have an idea and you're able to map it out and it makes sense, then you have a very high likelihood of it working. So again, whatever it is that you're trying to do, when we talk about math in the everyday world, it is very literally there. So if you just trust me a little bit, if you work with me, whatever you're trying to do, if you're trying to get better at math, I promise you, whatever you're trying to do in your life, math will make you even better at it. So hopefully you take a look at yomath.study. Make sure that you follow me, subscribe to the channel, and keep up with me because I have even more to talk about as we talk about math and its relevance to the real world. So stick with me.